All right, Michael, after a tough loss, how have you picked the boys' spirits up this week at training?
Yeah, it was a very tough loss. A game I believe we gave away and we were on top of for 55 to 60 minutes. And a game that had a few twists and turns that were out of our control. And in the end we dropped some points. But in saying that, that's just a battle that's been lost, not the war. So we picked ourselves up pretty quickly the next day. We had more go against us in terms of cancellation of flights and missing out on a training session here and so on, but it also gave us a good opportunity to quickly regroup, close off that game that disappointed everyone, every single player, every single staff member. So we quickly regrouped, reviewed and pushed forward onto the next game. So it gave us time to actually sit down and open up the new week with what's come with Melbourne City and do whatever we could do in terms of missing out on a training session, how we handled things. But I was really happy how the players handled those sort of setbacks as well after being miserable for losing that game and just getting on with it and doing the best we could to recover quickly, mentally and physically, to get ready for this big game.
And you must be excited coming up against the champions. It's a great game to make a big statement.
Yeah, look, it's going to be a great opportunity again, another challenge, a team that plays very good football and, yeah, the champions. So it's another good challenge for us at home and for us at home to put on a really good performance and really give that energy and that vibe back that we did in the first round to our supporters.
And 𝗕𝗲𝗄𝗧's been around a long time, but now moving into the midfield. What have you made of his transition?
Yeah, I think he's done well for him in the midfield, and look, it's not only 𝗕𝗲𝗄𝗧. I think they've got a lot of good players, but Matt brings a lot of experience and a lot of running power from the midfield, which makes him a lot more mobile. But in saying that, yeah, they've got many good players. They're a very good team that plays a certain way, and we know of that. But at the same time, we now need to also play the way we want to play, more of the identity we've shown in the pre-season. And that is that we want to have a lot of the ball as well and create a lot more chances and play our style of football.
And there's been a bit made on your side's physicality. Will we see that come tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with that. Really disappointed with that. But I think it's well played by colleagues, fellow coaches and so on, because they've put it out there for a reason. And I feel probably a little bit intimidated with our intensity and the way we pressed in pre-season, and I'm just a little bit gutted at the fact that that's gone into the ears of the refs and they treat us a little bit differently. That's what I feel. That's the truth. And when you look at the game against Wellington, I don't believe we were as physical as Wellington. In fact, I didn't see anyone punch anyone apart from Wellington player do that to our player. So I don't want to harp on that. I'm tired of that, but if you're going to press teams, you're going to always be that little bit more intense and aggressive. And if you're fair and you're committed to winning the ball, that's what it's about. And that's what I feel everyone has to be able to see, the difference between being unfair or being committed to win the ball. And yeah, there were a few things I've seen up until now that shows that maybe other teams are a lot more physical than what we are.
Any big changes to the team ahead of tomorrow?
There are some changes, but none that I'll be talking about now.
After a good first up win at home, you're back tomorrow night. How important is it to make Suncorp a fortress?
Oh, look, it's something we've spoken about since day one of pre-season, and I believe we did that in round one. And it's something that we have to continue working towards. And I know things don't turn around one day after another, but we've taken some good steps, and I know it would have been even better for us now if we'd brought back the 3 points from Wellington. But like I said, it's an opportunity to do so now against the champions, and I'm sure that the boys are going to be fully focused and full of energy for this game.
Yeah, Michael, it was a game of two halves, I believe, in Wellington on Sunday too, and then Wellington really only had their first shot on goal from 60 minutes onwards too. How tough were the conditions? Does it look like it was a real grind of a game?
Yeah, look, I somewhat believe in what you said. It's a game of two halves. It was probably a game of 60 minutes against another 30 minutes, and a game that probably could have been a lot different if they did go 10 men down. But also, you know, we were forced to make some changes that I think affected what we were doing. Unfortunately, sometimes, you know, it's gone in a different way for us in a positive sense. But I think then they certainly changed their style to suit the conditions. Probably because of the way they saw us handle the first half and what pressure we put them under. And they certainly just went more direct, put numbers in the box, and even put more physical players to play up front and to compete then against, you know, us, for example, losing 𝗁𝗂𝗿𝗍𝗍, who was exceptional and was really strong in the air and so on. And we lost 𝗁𝗂𝗍𝗄𝗏, who's a very experienced defender. So then, yeah, they played the game for what it required, but I don't want to go too much into that game because we've gone past it, and I'll start talking about something else.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So Melbourne City tomorrow night are showing killer instinct in front of goal. How can the team look to stop the likes of 𝗁𝗂𝗍𝗄𝗏, 𝗕𝗁𝗁𝗍𝗄𝗏 and even 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗍𝗄 now?
Yeah, look, they're dangerous. They're an attacking team, but at the same time, we've got players that are dangerous as well, and I can understand that. But I believe in our players and our ability not only to defend but also our ability to keep the ball and keep it from Melbourne City and to play in the way we want to play, in the way we played in pre-season. I think in round one we had a really good first half and very attacking, and we probably created the better chance and most chances. I don't think 𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁 really had a chance in the first half in round one. And then in the second half, obviously, we went down to 10 men, so that changed completely what we had to do and how we played. And in this game, we wanted to, against Wellington, we played a little bit different in terms of being a little bit more direct. And look, if you can get with one pass to your number 9 or to your wingers, then you're going to do that. You know what I mean? And we could do it. We had Dean's distribution, which was quite good, and it worked into our favour in the first half. But obviously in the second half, with the conditions, the game swung after 60 minutes. I think a lot's got to do again, I'm going to say, with the changes and our intensity. We didn't quite press as high as we did in the first half, and then that brought them closer into the box, and with long balls and a change of, you know, I didn't really expect them to be playing more direct. They'd been talking all week about playing a 𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁 style, so obviously it shows sometimes, yeah, you've got to play what's going to help you win. So. And they did that, but yeah, now is a different game, and hopefully all things that we can control go well. There's a lot of things we can't control in this game as coaches or players, and if everything goes well and we can play our way, yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game to watch.
Absolutely. With one thing you just touched on too, that you can't control, something like the weather too. Like Brisbane's expecting some storms today, tomorrow, Saturday too. Does that have any impact on what the style of play is going to be, or is it just going to be business as usual for the starting 11?
No, it's going to be business as usual. No, it's not the windy weather of Wellington. I mean, a bit of rain is, yeah, I think footballers enjoy playing in the rain. It's a lot better than whether it's in the really warm conditions or the windy Wellington conditions. So the most important thing is that our players are up for it and they're really looking forward to this game, because it's an opportunity to make up for what we gave away in Wellington.
And just finally, it was good to see Vidic took his chance, his first start of the season, took his chance, took a very good goal too, and not surprised by his work rate, especially from 𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁. His press was like an into-out press there too. Have you spoken with him, being that he's come into the squad a bit late, and what targets have you sort of set him in terms of starting, in terms of goals for the season? Like, can you share any of that for us?
Yeah, I'll share what I can. Look, when we brought him in because we see his potential, and we can see where he can actually get to as a real classic number 9. You know, with his physique, he's not only his pressing but also his finishing. We can see his finishing. I mean, you'd like to talk, when you talk about a number 9, you want to talk about his finishing first before his work rate. But if he's got the finish and the work rate, you know, that makes for a player that, you know, many coaches would like to have. And we spoke early on in the season when he first came in, his potential and where he probably could have been already for his age and where he'd like to be. And you know, from day one that he came to Brisbane, he's been working very hard, and I think he did very, very well in the pre-season, and we've also brought some competition into the team in Chris Long, and we know that there's times that they'll both be able to play together, and there's times where one will play, depending on the game. But at the same time, they're going to have to compete for that position as well. There's positions for grabs right throughout the whole squad, and that we've always spoken about that competition and the competition we wanted to create for this squad to improve us. So I think he's in a really good way. When he's focused, he's right up there. So can't say he's a young player still. He's been around for quite a bit of time, but I think in terms of how many games he's played and the experience he's got, yeah, we spoke about making it his year this year, and it's totally up to him, like it is up to every other player, with what effort they put in, how hard they work, their competitive spirit, their passion for the game, their teamwork, and Vida's done that many times, and as well as a lot of other players. So he's just got to keep doing that and just keep focused game by game and keep giving his best for the team.